Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing a series review. The series is the Enchanted Forest Chronicles by Patricia C. Reed. Not gonna lie, I read Dealing with Dragons back in February, but for the sake of it being the first in this series, I thought I would include it because it just feels complete. But the more recent books that I read are Searching for Dragons, Calling on Dragons, and Talking to Dragons. So these books, this nice quartet, are one of my ultimate favorite series. Is one of. And I read the first one back in 5th grade because we had to read a whole bunch of different books and that was one of them. I then proceeded to go and find the other 3 and just fell for the entire series. I gave and continue to give the first 3 books 5 out of 5 stars, and then I give the last one, Talking to Dragons, 4 out of 5 stars. You follow Cimmerine and a whole other cast of characters through all 4 of the books, and obviously there's dragons as a huge component of this. One of the dragons is King of the Dragons, and you follow the King of the Dragons and Cimmerine's friendship through a lot of these books as well. It's just so much fun to read because the characters aren't really what you think. There's a bit of a romance in the second one, but otherwise there just isn't, and I love that about these books. I also just really enjoy that there's different characters that you follow throughout each book. For example, in the first book you follow Cimmerine when she goes off and apprentices herself to a dragon. In the second one you follow Cimmerine again, except that this time she's in the Enchanted Forest and you meet the King of the Enchanted Forest, Mendimbar. In the third one you follow Morwen, who is a witch who lives in the Enchanted Forest who is friends with Cimmerine and Kazul and Mendimbar. And there's also a bright blue 6 foot, 7 foot 11 inches including the ears, floating donkey with oversized wings, which is really specific, but it's hilarious in the third book. And then in the fourth book you follow Daystar as he travels throughout the Enchanted Forest. This book I like less than the other ones because it feels so incredibly different from the first 3. The fourth one is in first person, which the other 3 are not, and this one is distanced from the other characters, from Kazul and Cimmerine, and so I like it because it is still a continuation of the same story, but it's never been my favorite. The lines in these books are just hysterical. There's a fair bit of snark in them because Cimmerine just doesn't care. She melts wizards fairly consistently with lemon water, and there are just so many components of this that feel utterly ridiculous if you think about them too hard, but they work so well within the context of the series itself. You also see cats as a fairly large component. Morwen is a witch, as I've mentioned, I think, and because she's a witch, she has cats. And that is just this huge, not an issue, but it's a huge part of the story in the third book. And so it's really fun because in the third book you finally get to hear the cats talk. They can only be understood by Morwen and other animals, not by other humans, so Morwen has to translate whatever they say for Cimmerine and Mendimbar and everybody else. And sometimes she wishes that others could understand, and sometimes, because cats, as we all know, are just superior to human beings in every possible way, she's rather content to let cats be understood only by herself and other animals. Like I said, they're just hysterical books. They're incredibly easy to read. They're middle grade. They're very quick. But they're so well written and they pack a lot in there as well. I really love the settings. You have several different settings. You have the Mountains of Morning, which are very rugged and rocky, which also have giants and dragons as their primary inhabitants. You have the Enchanted Forest, which has all sorts of creatures. You get enchanted princes and princesses who just really shouldn't be there but somehow end up there. You have wicked uncles trying to, be wicked. You have witches, you have magicians, which are different than wizards. This is a very important point. There are so many different fairy tales wound up into this series as well. So many stereotypes and tropes almost, that it's just hysterical. Patricia C. Reed plays on stereotypes of witches as these ugly, cronish old women with black cats. She differentiates magicians and wizards and has characters that are either of them and are very particular about others knowing what they are. She has sorceresses, she has Rapunzel sort of retellings in this. Like I said, wicked uncles, and then there's Cimorine's family, and so all the princesses, excepting Cimorine and one other, seem to be these empty-headed idiots, for lack of a better word, and it's really highly entertaining to watch Reed as she just plays with all of these in the context of Cimorine's adventures through all of this, because Cimorine is a character in all four of them, and she is honestly my favorite. She is so amazing. There's also a lot of females in this series, which is just really fun. I think it's a good balance between female and male characters. And you can see a difference in cultures as well. There's the dragon culture, and then there's human. And the humans who learn that the king of the dragons is just a title and doesn't necessarily have to be a male dragon are always shocked at first, and then they just stop thinking about it, or they figure that, yeah, it's just a title, it doesn't matter what sex the dragon is, as long as you can do the job. Like I said, love, love, love this series, and I figured since I finally reread it during the bar, I should do a review on the entire series. So I finally did. Anyway, that's all I have to say that is not terribly repetitive about the Enchanted Forest Chronicles by Patricia C. Reed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up down below. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below. As always, I will leave my Goodreads linked in the down bar if you want to check out what else I read. But until my next video, bye.